Wind raises across a lonely siding. One crooked water tower groans. Crows pick at grain in the dust. The last echo of a whistle fades like a vow forgotten. Josephine Josie Oakfield, early 20s, steps down from the coach. Her dress is travel grey, hem frayed. A blue ribbon, threadbare, circles her wrist. She lifts her small trunk, it's heavier with hope than goods. A freight hand wedges between her and the platform. Freight hand you lost, miss? Josie swallows. Stands straight. Josie mislaid. Not lost. Ticket man behind a cloudy window, leafing dead paper. Ticket man, no groom waiting. No letter filed. You got off wrong. This here's Silver Spur. Rough laughter from loafers. A spit lands near her boot. Josie steadies the trunk. Fingers tighten around the ribbon. A girl's voice, clear and soft. Hattie, OS, Papa. God finally answered us. Wyatt Carrow, late 30s, a widower's grief living under his hat brim, steps into the space beside Josie. He says little. He doesn't need to. Wyatt, you'll let the lady be. The freight hand backs off, feigning a laugh that dies quick. Hattie June Carrow, 7, solemn as Sunday, peers up at Josie, eyes like dusk pools. She touches the blue ribbon with reverent fingers. Hattie, you can come with us. For a spell. Josie nods once. It's a thread of a choice, but it holds. Cut to. Extension Carrow Homestead, night. A wind-bent cartonwood leans like an old man keeping watch. The porch boards gap like missing teeth. An empty bucket braces the pump, rim whitened by alkali. Wyatt lifts the trunk down. Hattie carries a smooth prayer stone like a hen's egg. Int. Carrow house, continuous. A single room and a lean-to. 3 plates. 1 polished, 2 chipped. On the mantel, a railroad watch sits open-mouthed and silent, hands arrested at some sacred hour. Hattie sets the prayer stone near a place at the table. Hattie, when your hands go cold, you hold it. Warm comes back. Wyatt ladles thin stew. Josie wraps her fingers around the tin cup. Josie, I can work. To earn. Wyatt will set you by the fire till you sort the rest. No obligation. A beat. A nod. The wind moves through the chinks, saying no more than a man like Wyatt. Extension Silver Spur Main Street, morning. False front buildings shoulder each other. A dust devil dances. Belle Starling stands in her saloon door with a smile that's tired of men, not of mercy. Belle, this town likes to stare. It don't like to help. Wyatt, we manage. Belle tips her chin at Josie. Belle, then she'll have to, too. Sheriff Bartholomew Bat Mercer, his tin star dulled by too much sun, approaches at an amble. Mercer name? Josie Josephine Oakfield. Mercer trouble finds lonely doors. Best keep yours latched. He tips his hat, the star flashes and is gone. Across the street, Black Jack Kincaid rides slow, slick as oil, and beside him Clay Dalton, smile like a snake that learned to whistle. Dalton Carrow's patch drinks from willow draw. Kincaid thirst makes men pliable. Their horses pass. Hooves stir dust like prophecy. Cut to. Int. Carrow house, late afternoon. Light slants in like a hymn. Josie fumbles with an apron, knocks the coffee tin. The lid rattles like a bad penny. She burns the cornbread. Scalds her hand. Curses soft and proper. Wyatt eats. Drinks the burnt coffee without flinching. Wyatt warm. Josie, I ruined it. Wyatt, you didn't. He leaves firewood by her door later, stacked neat. No word about it. Extension Homestead Yard, dawn. A rooster chases Josie to the privy. She laughs despite herself, breath fogging. She mends Wyatt's work shirt on the step. A prick of her needle draws a bead of blood, garnet bright on thread. Hattie sits in the dust, making patterns with the prayer stone. Hattie, Papa says God answers, but slow. Like the train. Josie, he answered you quick enough. Hattie shrugs, wise beyond 7. Hattie, maybe he ran here. They share a small smile that warms like a stovetop. Extension General Store, day. Josie approaches with a small list. The shopkeeper eyes her up and down. Shopkeeper, we don't run tabs for strays. Josie, I'll pay cash. He doubles the price. She counts out coins slowly, cheeks pink from dignity's sting. Clay Dalton leans against the barrel, barely touching his hat in mock courtesy. Dalton Kincaid runs a friendly book. Low interest. High kindness. Josie, kindness gets expensive round here, I reckon. Dalton, you reckon right. He smiles. It chills. Int. Bell's Saloon, late day. The empty hour when men haven't started lying yet. Bell polishes a glass. On a table, a battered trunk with Josie's initials arrived, broken. Josie pries the split lock. Inside, slashed silk. Empty space where letters should be. Bell, men who cut silk usually cut throats. Watch Kincaid's boys. Josie, I will. Bell, you swim or you don't. But I saw you walk in holding your head like a rifle. That helps. Extension Homestead, sunset. Virgil Caro, Wyatt's older brother, a scarred veteran, rides in. He studies Josie like a ridge you intend to climb. Virgil, you staying? Josie, for a spell. Virgil drops a coil of new rope by the post. No note. He rides on. A small provision against the larger hunger. Int. Caro house, night. Wyatt sets the railroad watch on the table. Josie glances. The hands point to the hour his wife didn't live past. Wyatt stopped the day she passed. Hattie moves the prayer stone beside it, a moon of hope near a dead sun. Hattie, maybe it's time. Wyatt doesn't wind it. Yet. Montage, days turn like a wheel. Josie slips in the mud, falls, laughs, then laughs at laughing. Wyatt comes in with cracked knuckles. She cleans them, her touch quiet. Hattie shows Josie how to listen for quail, ear pressed to earth, patience its own language. Sheriff Mercer rides by, tips his hat, no words. Respect accrues like silt after rain. Extension pasture fence, dusk. Barbed wire hacked and hanging. Posts stabbed to the side. Wyatt studies the cuts. The pattern is deliberate. Wyatt, open range, they'll say. Josie, it wasn't range did this. They fix it together. Fingers torn. Wire biting into leather gloves. When it's done, the fence stands like a line someone finally means. Extension Main Street, day. A crude drawing of Josie nailed to a post, lewd, false. Laughter somewhere behind her. Josie tears it down, hands trembling. She carries it to the yard, shoves it under the empty bucket and fills the bucket at the pump. The paper drowns without fanfare. Wyatt watches. A slow nod. They don't speak. They don't need to. Extension stable, morning. Josie drops the latch. A colt bolts, a streak of panic toward the arroyo. Josie, no. She runs, skirts ripping, heart drilling. She flings the new rope, clumsy. It snags, nearly useless. The colt skids, dances, could break its leg. Virgil appears, calm as a porch. He takes the rope from her hands. Virgil, you hold on, Miss Oakfield. He does the rest. When the colt settles, he hands the rope back. Virgil, CONT'd, that not? You tied courage first. The rest can be learned. Josie leans against the fence, breath ragged. She smiles without show. Extension Willow Draw, afternoon. Clouds bruise the far mountains. A smell of iron and rain. Hattie chases a bit of blue ribbon snagged on a fence post. Josie hangs laundry. She glances up. The sky is a sermon in a bad mood. Josie, Hattie, stay close. The first sheet of rain hits like a thrown basin. The draw turns from a trickle to a churning, mud-brown animal. Hattie's ribbon whips free, spins a taunt from the flood. Hattie lunges. Misjudges. The ground crumbles. She's in the water, small arms pinwheeling. Josie, Hattie. Josie doesn't think, she leaps. The current yanks her sideways. The blue ribbon bites her wrist. She lashes it around Hattie's arm and a willow root in one frantic movement. Water roars. The world is cold and loud and trying to make them forget air. Wyatt is already running, rope at his waist, Virgil anchoring the other end. Wyatt hold. He goes in ice to the chest. Finds them. Ropes produce miracles sometimes. This is one. He fights the river, makes ground by inches. He yanks them free like pulling teeth from a giant. They collapse on the bank, coughing mud and breath. Int. Carrow House, night. A fire snaps. Hollis Dane, consumptive doctor with gambler's hands, checks Hattie's pupils, rattling cough tucked quick into a kerchief. Hollis girl's a tough one. Like the man. Like the new lady, too. Wyatt wraps a blanket around Josie and Hattie, pulling them into a single warm shape. He sets the silent railroad watch on Josie's bedside shelf. Wyatt for the ticking. In case sleep runs off. Later, in the dark, Josie wins the watch. The first tick is a heartbeat discovered after thinking yourself dead. Extension Homestead, morning. The empty bucket sits full from rain. Sun warms its rim. Josie ties the river-stained blue ribbon to its handle. A small claim laid. Int Extension Town, days later. Belle delivers eggs. For the girl who jumped the flood. Sheriff Mercer tips his hat to Josie, not his star. Reverend Amos Reed leaves a loaf wrapped in a hymnal page. Body and spirit both need bread. Things ripple outward, the way kindness always promised it would. Extension Carrow Homestead, day. A notice nailed to their door, unpaid grazing fees. Foreclosure in 30 days. Invented debt with official ink. Wyatt reads it. His jaw tightens. He doesn't curse. He folds the paper and puts it down like a snake you aim to kill later. Kincaid, OS, paper's honest if the man isn't. Kincaid sits his horse at the gate. Clay Dalton beside him, a crow in a mansuit. Kincaid sell the stock, sell the deed, keep your life. Thirst kills pride first. Wyatt some thirst I'll keep. Kincaid studies Josie. A flicker, calculation. Kincaid mail-order brides get lost. Some never find the right door. Josie holds his gaze. She is small and she is granite. Josie you best ride on. Kincaid I like a woman says please. Wyatt steps forward. He doesn't rest his hand near his revolver. His hand is the weapon. Wyatt you heard her. A beat. Kincaid smiles like a knife pretending to be a spoon. Kincaid 30 days. They ride off. Dust slowly falls like a verdict. Int. Belle's Saloon, night. The righteous conspire. Wyatt, Virgil, Sheriff Mercer, Belle, Hollis Dane, and Reverend Reed gather over lantern light that bruises the walls gold. A map of the valley spreads, edges weighted with bullets and a horseshoe. Mercer Kincaid damned willow draw on his north spread, cut the branch that feeds your allotment. Says the law's on his side. Belle laws address men cut to fit themselves. Hollis there's a judge riding circuit. Likes papers with real numbers and signatures. Virgil we get the ledgers. We open the gate. We send the proof by dawn. Wyatt too many riders at his dam. Josie my hands are small. I can work the pins. Wyatt turns, a storm trying not to break. Wyatt no. Josie you already risk me by staying. Silence. Then Mercer exhales, a man who's worn a star too long to pretend he can say no to courage. Mercer we split. Decoy wagon feeds his night patrol. Virgil and the lady take the gate. I'll meet you at the draw if I'm living. Belle, you set a lantern high if the town's with us. Belle they'll be with us. Reed I'll witness what's true once it is. Hattie slips from behind the stair and presses the prayer stone into Josie's palm. Hattie so you come back warm. Josie closes her fingers around it. A vow and a talisman. Extension Prairie, night. Coyotes stitch the dark with thread-like howls. Wind drags the sagebrush into confession. A decoy wagon rattles into the low ground, Wyatt driving, Sheriff Mercer beside him. A lantern sways. It makes them look like fools or bait. Maybe both. Clay Dalton and riders fan out in the mesquite, eyes that learned to love the dark. At the same time, Josie and Virgil crawl on their bellies up a gravelly rise. Below, Kincaid's dam, a crude brace of timbers and iron, the gate-keeping willow draw hostage, moonlight painting everything silver and false holy. Virgil, whisper, you steady? Josie steady enough. Virgil hands her a short pry bar wrapped in cloth. She slips into the shadow's mouth. Extension low ground, continuous. Gunfire splinters the wagon boards. Mercer fires measured shots back, precise as a deacon's prayer. Wyatt steers through ruts, the railroad watch heavy in his vest pocket. He touches it. Ticking. He breathes to its rhythm. Slow courage. Mercer 2 on the left. Wyatt, I see them. They aren't trying to win. They're trying to hold attention. It works. Extension Kincaid's dam, continuous. Josie's fingers, blood slick from rust worry at the first pin. It groans free. She bites cloth. Works the second. A lantern flares above. A shadow peels itself from darkness. A gunman, not Dalton, but mean enough. Gunman, you there. Virgil rises, calm and terrible. Virgil, look at me. The gunman does. Shoots. Virgil answers. He doesn't miss. Josie wrenches the last pin. The gate shivers like a horse before a start. Josie now, then. She slams the lever. The gate screams open. Water, choked too long, explodes through the gap, silver rage uncoiling. It smashes the slack water below, reclaims its path like a widow reclaiming her name. Extension low ground, continuous. Dalton turns as the water's roar rises. His horse skitters. He curses. Dalton the dam, he wheels. Mercer nails a shot into his hat brim. Dalton ducks low and runs his horse hot toward the ridge. Extension dam ridge, continuous. Wyatt, leaving the wagon to Mercer, runs hard, feet digging, breath ragged. He finds Josie as shots stitch the rocks around her. Wyatt down, he knocks her behind a boulder. Stone chips bite his cheek. He doesn't notice. Kincaid rides in, soaked by the spray, pistol barking. Kincaid thieves. Wyatt stands. He doesn't fire first. He never has. Kincaid does. The bullet sings past. Sheriff Mercer arrives, flanks, disciplined as a railroad timetable. Hollis, yes, Hollis has come too, a rifle coughing from his frail chest's insistence on being counted. Above them, on a ridge, Bell swings a lantern in a long, brave arc. 1, 2, 3. A comet's tail. Windows open back in town. Rifles answer. Men and women stand in their doorframes and turn their fear into straight spines. Dalton charges. Wyatt meets him halfway. Fists, elbow, the butt of a carbine. Dalton hits the mud, teeth red. Kincaid wheels to run. Virgil steps into his path, unshaking aim. The water, rightful now, slides past them, flooding back toward Willow Draw like time finding its channel. Kincaid, you'll drown your own range. Virgil will live with wet boots. Kincaid jerks a hidden derringer. His swift. Not swift enough. Wyatt steps in, grabs the nearest thing, the empty bucket, swings. The iron handle splits Kincaid's lip, knocks the derringer flying. Kincaid goes to his knees, cussing into the mud he tried to own. Mercer cuffs him. The tin star flashes like an answer. Mercer waters the law tonight. Reverend Reed appears with Bell and half the town. Ledgers are pulled from a stulbag. Names. Numbers. Lies. Truth is heavier and steadier on the page. Reed eyewitness. He signs. The judge's courier, a boy with a good horse and a better conscience, takes the packet and rides into the burning edge of dawn. Silence settles, wholly in its way, except for the water singing down the draw where it belongs. Extension Caro Homestead, PRE Dawn. They come home mud-streaked, tired past words. Hattie stands in the doorway, shawl around her shoulders, small and mighty. Hattie, are you mine now? Wyatt looks at Josie. He has no poems. He has never needed them. Wyatt, if she'll have stubborn men. Josie's eyes shine. She nods. No kiss. Hands find each other, work-worn, steady. Between their palms, the railroad watch ticks, a wedding bell only they hear. Int. Caro House, morning. Wyatt hangs the tin star Mercer gave him for safekeeping on a nail by the window. Not to wear, to remember. The empty bucket brims at the doorway. Hattie drops the prayer stone in. It plunks, bell-like. Faith made sound. Extension porch, later. Sun warms the boards. The blue ribbon now ties to the porch post, faded, steadfast. Wind worries it, but it holds. Down in the arroyo, Willow Draw runs clear, not wild, but rightful. Fences stand true. The cottonwood shivers, telling its leaves the news. Belle rides by with a basket. Virgil tips his hat. Hollis, pale as salt, smiles with a healer's relief. Sheriff Mercer rides back toward town, lighter by one tyrant. Hattie sits between Wyatt and Josie, a hand in each. The watch ticks. The draw sings. The star on the nail catches a strip of dawn and throws it kindly back. Fade out. The end.